acting all high and mighty over such a small amount. I won't let an outsider hold my daughter. Holding her newborn grandchild in her arms. My eldest son's wife looked down at me with a mocking smile. It seemed as if the eldest son agreed with her, nodding as if it was only natural. What on earth did I do to deserve this? Why am I treated so coldly just for being a mother-in-law? All I ever wanted was to get along as a family, even if we were related by marriage. Despite the tension, I've always tried hard to engage with my eldest son and his wife. I've endured harsh words and kept my composure. But I've reached my limit. It's time for my self-centered eldest son and his wife to face the consequences of their actions. So, I decided to take matters into my own hands. My name is Jessica, a housewife in her 50s. I live with my husband, the younger son, and his wife. My eldest son left home as soon as he graduated from college and got a job. Although we live close by and see each other often, he has his own family now. Following his footsteps, my younger son also got a job and married a colleague. Since their workplace is close to our home, they decided to live with us. I knew it must be hard for my younger son's wife to live with her mother-in-law. But she respected me and accepted the living arrangement without disdain. With both of them working, they paid rent, and I took care of household chores. On weekends, they helped too, making our life comfortable. However, there was an issue with my eldest son and his wife. Unlike the younger couple, they were cold and distant. Especially, my eldest son's wife seemed to dislike me, her mother-in-law. If I said anything even slightly offensive, she would create a fuss, accusing me of harassing the daughter-in-law. One day, I was summoned to my eldest son's house, and upon arriving, my eldest son's wife asked me, "I'm busy, so could you please take over the housework?" My eldest son also said, "We'd like your help with it." So, reluctantly, I agreed to do the housework at the eldest son and his wife's house for just 1 week. At first, my eldest son and his wife showed gratitude for my help. But as the days passed, their attitude worsened. Eventually, my eldest son's wife started to declare that it was only natural for me, her mother-in-law, to do the housework. The promise of just 1 week was repeatedly extended. And soon I found myself being burdened with their housework daily. I'm not young anymore, and doing chores at 2 houses was exhausting. Realizing I couldn't continue this lifestyle, I approached my eldest son's wife to say I wanted to stop doing the housework at their home. She responded, "How can you, as a mother-in-law, not even feel like helping your eldest son and his wife? My husband is the eldest son, you know? He's the one who will eventually inherit the house. If you don't start doing favors now, you might not get any help with your care later." I replied, "Well, there's also the younger son and his family. And I'm not saying I'm refusing care outright, but..." To this, my eldest son's wife flew into a rage, saying, "Are you planning to leave the inheritance to your younger son's family? That's ridiculous." Even though my husband is the eldest. Ultimately, no matter what I said, she wouldn't listen. So I had to call my younger son and his wife to somehow resolve the situation. Honestly, I struggled with my eldest son's wife and her bizarre behavior. But she's still family, so I thought I had to face the issues someday. However, the attitude of my eldest son's wife worsened day by day. Every time she saw me, she would make an obvious face of displeasure. Moreover, she started spreading malicious rumors in the neighborhood, claiming that she was being harassed by her mother-in-law. The neighbors trusted me more than my eldest son's wife. But I couldn't let her keep causing trouble. I wondered why my eldest son didn't stop his wife's blatant misconduct. Concerned, I decided to visit their house on his day off to talk. I asked the eldest son what he thought about his wife's behavior. Then, I received an unbelievable response. my wife can do whatever she wants, right? Isn't it you, Mom? Who doesn't try to get along? I was dizzy with shock at his words. While my eldest son's wife praised him, saying, "That's my husband." Encouraged by her words, he continued, "After all, even if you are my mother, you're still an outsider. Why don't you stop pretending to know? And giving advice without understanding how much my wife struggles because of you. We have our lives, and you have yours. Isn't it bad for us to interfere too much with each other?" He said this with a laugh. It sounded reasonable, but in essence, it meant don't complain about our actions. As the head of the family and as a husband, such behavior is unacceptable. My eldest son, supposed to protect his family, was essentially saying to let his wife do whatever she pleases, without any reprimand. I couldn't stand his attitude and scolded him in anger. Are you even acting like the eldest son or a husband? Shouldn't the eldest son have the desire to protect his family? Doesn't a husband think to correct his wife's behavior? How can you say such heartless things? I couldn't bear the fact that my eldest son, whom I raised, was acting so irresponsibly. I scolded him as his mother, but my words didn't seem to reach him. I've always hated your nagging, Mom. Are you trying to harass not just my wife, but me too? Please stop. You're an outsider, so don't interfere in our affairs. After these cold words, the discussion with my eldest son and his wife ended. I don't even remember how I returned home. His words had that much of an impact on me. Since then, my relationship with my eldest son and his wife has been strained. Gradually, it became painful for me to be around them, and I stopped visiting their house. We only met during formal occasions like Christmas, Thanksgiving, or family events. My younger son, his wife, and my husband were concerned about me. But honestly, I felt more at ease not seeing my eldest son and his wife. I feared that meeting them would only highlight our differences and lead to more conflicts. Amidst this, I received a message from them. The news was that my eldest son's wife had given birth to a child. Despite my feelings towards them, I felt I had to celebrate the news, as this would be my first grandchild. I wanted to see what the child looked like. When I finally reached out to them, their response came back quicker than expected. In summary, they said, "If you're bringing a gift, then come over." I couldn't help feeling bad that even in such a situation, they only cared about money. But wanting to see my grandchild, I decided to endure it. Finally, when they visited, I handed them an envelope with $3,000, which they rudely opened on the spot to check. Is there something wrong with it? As I asked sarcastically, upset by their behavior, my eldest son's wife retorted, "Isn't this too little?" Confused, I tilted my head. I had prepared more than the usual amount, thinking it wouldn't be enough for them. Yet they still found it insufficient. As I struggled to respond, my eldest son's wife scoffed, acting all high and mighty over such a small amount. I won't let an outsider hold my daughter. Agreeing with her, my eldest son nodded, saying, "This is just a small change." The couple laughed together, while my younger son and his wife frowned at the scene. I felt sorry for the innocent grandchild. I understand. As I said this, my eldest son's wife smiled cunningly. You finally understand, Mother. Someone like you doesn't deserve to hold my child. If you understand, then just give up and leave. After these harsh words, my eldest son and his wife left the house as if they had no further business. My younger son and his wife immediately came to comfort me. Angered by my eldest son's behavior, my younger son raised his voice saying, "I can't believe he's my brother." Meanwhile, my younger son's wife comforted me, "Please don't mind such heartless words." This incident was a wake-up call for me. I had been preoccupied with my relationship with my eldest son and his wife. But I finally realized that no matter how much effort I put in, they would never acknowledge me. It dawned on me that nothing I did would ever matter to them. What I should cherish now is not my eldest son and his wife, who lack a heart for family, but my younger son and his wife who worry about and support me right in front of my eyes. Considering this, my husband and I decided to cut off the financial assistance we had been giving to my eldest son and his wife. We had been sending them $500 every month, but we decided to stop that. Instead, we planned to use the extra money to support my younger son and his wife. At first, my younger son and his wife refused our offer, saying, "What we have now is enough." However, when we insisted, "We want to give back to you who have always supported us," they reluctantly accepted. This event changed my understanding of what family means. I had always tried to cherish and acknowledge those who are blood-related or connected by the registry as my family. But I decided to change that perspective. No matter how much I treated the eldest son and his wife as a family, they never treated me the same. I felt that putting effort into valuing such people was futile. Instead of wasting my energy on them, it made more sense to devote it to my younger son and his wife, who act like family. Since then, my life has improved. One day, while enjoying a comfortable life, the phone suddenly rang. It was my eldest son. Reluctantly answering, as he is still my blood relative, he shamelessly stated his purpose. "Mom, this month's money hasn't come yet. Have you gone senile already?" I instantly understood why he called. He was implying, "Send the money quickly." He wanted family support without acting like a family member. I held back my irritation and decided to speak calmly. "You said the $3,000 for the birth gift was just a small change, right? Compared to that, the monthly allowance would be even more insignificant. But since $500 a month is all we can afford, we thought it would be better to stop, as it might offend you." As I said this sarcastically, my eldest son responded with a slightly trembling voice. "Well, I earn enough, and the money from you guys is just a small change. But it's always better to have more money. Besides, you wouldn't want our relationship to break, right? Since we hardly see each other, maybe you should make an effort?" I was irked by his insinuation that I was the one at fault. Why should I be the only one trying for the sake of such terrible people like my eldest son and his wife? No matter how hard I tried, they never acknowledged my efforts. No matter how much I tried, they mocked everything I did. I wasn't giving up without trying. Initially, I did my best to bridge the gap with them, hoping to get along as a family. But it was they who dismissed everything. As a mother-in-law, a mother, and a family member, I did what I could to get along with them. They not only failed to acknowledge my efforts, but belittled them as if it were a joke. I truly felt they no longer deserved to be called my family. "You've been quite talkative. Have you been listening at all?" As I said this, my eldest son angrily retorted, "What?" In the past, I would have been taken aback by such words and backed down without a reply. But now, to me, my eldest son, though blood-related, is no longer family. That's why I could stand up to him confidently. "Have you been listening? Do you think sending you money is for our benefit? Isn't it true that you're the ones in trouble without it? You want the money, don't you?" As I confronted him, my eldest son replied in a panic. "No, it's not like that. Even if we don't get money from you, it's..." I countered, "Then we don't need to send any more money, right? We're old and don't have much to spare. We can't support people who can't behave like family." Reaching his limit, my eldest son began to speak his true feelings. "Please, send me the money. I'm in a terrible situation." Finally, I learned about the circumstances of my eldest son and his wife. His wife couldn't handle the stress of parenting and started leaving the child with her in-laws to go out and have fun. She spent her days gambling and her nights with men, even using the household expenses for her entertainment. At first, my eldest son tried to support the family with his job, but such a lifestyle couldn't last long. Now, they are on the brink of financial hardship. Even so, my eldest son had been trying to get by, thinking that our regular financial support would arrive soon. However, when the usual date for the support passed without any money from us, he made this call. While the grandson seemed to be out of trouble, I couldn't help feeling a sense of schadenfreude towards my eldest son and his wife. You're the only ones we can rely on now. Her parents might look after the child, but they won't help us financially. Your support was all we had. Please, send us the money again. Help us. My eldest son begged, almost in tears. But his words didn't alleviate the pain I had endured. What are you talking about? Have you forgotten how you treated me? I'll never forget what you did. You mock and belittle someone. And when things go bad for you, you come crawling back. Isn't that too self-centered? I replied, my voice filled with anger, and my eldest son retorted, but it was obvious he was trying to get assistance from us. No buts. Stop acting so entitled. We will not support you in any way, ever again. So, stop calling us for help or to reconcile. I hung up the phone, despite his repeated calls, which were so annoying that I had to block his number. About an hour later, the doorbell rang. With a bad feeling, I checked the monitor and saw my eldest son and his wife standing there. My eldest son was prostrating at the front door, begging loudly enough for the neighbors to hear, "Please, give us the money." Meanwhile, his wife was visibly furious, shouting through the monitor, "Mother, come out here, now." Though I knew it wouldn't end well. Leaving them outside could trouble my husband and my younger son's family, who weren't home. Reluctantly, I opened the door. Immediately, my eldest son's wife confronted me, grabbing my shirt. "What are you thinking, Mother? It's too spiteful to stop the financial support just because we're not close. Are you that displeased with us? Do you enjoy doing this to us?" She ranted, seemingly losing her rationality. But my eldest son managed to stop her, allowing me to speak calmly. "First, why did you think you deserved the support? Have you acted in a way that warrants it? We tried to maintain a family relationship with you in our way. But have you done the same? Have you done what you could to stay part of this family, to deserve the support?" I asked her, and she retorted, her face still flushed. "That's just a matter of feelings. Even if we haven't acted like a family, we are still your family. It's cruel to stop the support. You know we're struggling, don't you? Don't you even want to help? We're really in trouble. Isn't this the time when families should help each other?" She replied desperately, her eyes filled with panic and a hint of fear. I realized that what my eldest son and his wife wanted was only money. And even if they received it, they wouldn't change their ways. Once their financial situation improved, they would likely come back with even worse attitudes. We couldn't just help my eldest son and his wife, who showed no intention of changing or appreciating. Besides, we have my younger son and his family, who treat us like a real family. It's only natural to prioritize those who genuinely care and act like family. Filled with anger and desperation, I tried to explain our feelings to my eldest son and his wife, choosing my words carefully. Then, my eldest son exclaimed in a mix of surprise and anger, "Are you supporting my brother and his family?" Following suit, his wife ranted, "You help the younger son and his wife, but not us? That's unfair." Despite my careful choice of words, nothing seemed to get through to my eldest son and his wife. Exhausted from the conversation, I said, "Just give up, please. We're tired of trying to be a family with you." Don't ever pretend to be part of our family again. Understand? Now, leave. I don't have time for people who aren't family." I was surprised at how much anger and frustration seeped into my voice. My eldest son and his wife seemed taken aback by my attitude. Yet they showed no signs of backing down. Feeling I couldn't deal with them anymore, I went inside the house and locked the door. They rang the doorbell repeatedly, but I steadfastly ignored it. Eventually, sensing it was futile, they left. My eldest son and his wife continued to visit our house many times. But I ignored them completely until they finally stopped coming. I heard through the grapevine that my eldest son, fed up with his wife's extravagant spending, had filed for divorce. The former wife was taken back by her parents, who paid off her gambling debts. She was reportedly working hard to repay them. Meanwhile, my eldest son tried to reach out to us, but eventually gave up and moved away. Now, I have no idea where he is. This cut ties with the unpleasant presence of my eldest son and his wife. Asked if it was the right decision, I honestly can't nod affirmatively. There were days I wondered if there could have been a better ending. However, whenever I felt troubled, my younger son and his wife always listened and supported me. Over time, I've come to see what truly matters to me. I've also come to firmly believe that my decision was not wrong. I'm endlessly grateful to my younger son and his wife for helping me see clearly. I want to cherish them and continue being a good family, putting effort into our relationship going forward.